Stupid things we did playing Pokemon. Now let's be honest. Put up your hand if you're stupid. Put your freaking hand up. We're all stupid. Pokemon is a kid's game that adults enjoy. When getting used to anything, you're gonna be stupid at first. So we're gonna look at some stuff that people did and that they're stupid for in Pokemon. And obviously you've done some of these too. You're just not gonna admit it. Let's look at them. Before I move on, guys, shank that like button. Before I start, what's something stupid I did in Pokemon? I know. I freaking couldn't get past the coffee man in Pokemon Blue. Weeks, maybe months spent just talking to that man. Pissed off. A freaking horizontal NPC in a game. Can't get past him. This man traumatized me about coffee. I couldn't drink it for years. When someone pours a cup of coffee, I just start thinking of the images of the horizontal NPC. Another stupid thing is I got stuck in Cerulean Cave. Never got out of it. It's like as a kid, you cannot see the exit doesn't even exist. I never got out of it. I ran forever. There is no exit. It's like a soft lock. You go into Cerulean Cave, stuck forever if you're a kid. It kind of traumatized me. Like, dude, I just screwed my game up. Like, I have to reset now. There's no way out. Mewtwo's trapped me in here. Bro, Mewtwo was already caught too. I just wanted to be in the cave. Another stupid thing I did is in Pokemon Blue, my friend save, the Game Boy had no battery. So I would turn on the Game Boy. It'd be red. It'd be blinking, meaning it's about to die. But don't worry, we got some time left. I go, hit fly to Viridian City, boom, dies. All I wanted to do was fly to Viridian City. And you can't plug in the Game Boy. Every time the Game Boy died, I kept trying to turn it back on and fly to Viridian City and quickly save it in the time that the freaking battery recharges. Because, you know, if you wait a bit, the battery suddenly gets some of its power back. And it happened eventually, but I must have tried like 7 times. Okay, now let's look at what stupid people exist out there. Enough about stupid me. I didn't know that ghost types can always run from battles. When can this even be tested? What ghost types are you ever gonna have on your team? What, Hunter in Gen 1? What are you gonna have in Gen 2? What ghost type? Am I gonna have a Banette in Pokemon Sapphire? No one really uses ghost types on their team. I didn't know anything about natures, so when I caught a shiny Geodude, I thought it was like that because it had a rash. Oh my frick. Yo. Damn, this Geodude gold, it must have a huge ass rash. I remember catching a lonely Zigzagoon and feeding it Pokeblocks because I felt bad. Come on, guys. It's just a game. Bro, this is me. I got lonely over so many things that are just games or just a show. Like, I'd be depressed in my room like, oh dear, bro. Why is life so cruel? And it's just a freaking show. Like, okay, it's understandable. Like, for example, when Pikachu left Ash or when Charizard left Ash, like, that will depress you. Or watch Bye Bye Butterfly with that crazy violin soundtrack. Was it even a violin? Bro, that could destroy him and you could torture me with that. I'd give you my secrets. I think I could survive waterboarding a bit, but if you torture me with that scene, I'll give you my YouTube password. Come find me in real life and do it. Don't do it. Shoot. Can you imagine catching a Zigzagoon and it's lonely? And you're just trying to keep it company. This is kind of wholesome, actually. I didn't know what In a Pinch was. Basically, I didn't know what Swarm, Torrent, Overgrow, Blaze-esque abilities were. Honestly, a lot of people don't care for these abilities. These are the abilities the starters get, Swarm, Torrent, and Overgrow. And it makes it so when you're in your last like third of health, that your Grass, Fire, Water moves go up by 50%. So you might notice in games, your first move doesn't do quite half. And then it hits your Blastoise and it goes down to red. And the second move just instantly kills it even though it was not supposed to. It's because secretly this ability is at work. It's honestly a good ability. It's that like last stand, kind of like a classic shonen ability they give to the 3 starters. And it is pretty cool. But when it comes to abilities where your health has to be low, it's just mostly unusable. And I mean, these abilities were cool, but for every starter to get these abilities, they should give some different abilities, man. This is a silly one. But when I was about 6 or 7 and playing Crystal for the first time, I named my rival question marks because I thought that was actually name. Okay, this is not the first time I've heard it. Many people have done this. I can't remember if I did this. Nah, I think my friend who had Silver literally did this. It's like the cops are asking. I better give the actual name he informed me, the question marks. I think when I played Silver, I actually named him Silver though. So like, the next level, bro. I misled the cops. I named my rival Bill because I knew a guy named Bill with red hair. This is fine. This is... Wait, what? You pinned the... You told the cops to go get your friend? What the frick? So when I met Bill for the first time, and he was all nice and chatty with me, I was super confused. Guy threatens me, then gives me his Eevee. Thought the dude was bipolar or something. Okay, that's kind of scary. When I played my first Pokemon game, I knew things like stats, type weaknesses, and stuff like that. But for some reason, I didn't know how held items work. I legit made my Pokemon hold useless items like escape ropes and nuggets. Okay, I knew how held items worked, but on the contrary, I was like ass with some type weaknesses. I remember fighting Blue in the post-game Elite Four, and he had a Tyranitar. And it was like this man was a legendary Pokemon. I don't remember what region he's from. I never seen this man in Pokemon Silver when I played it. I couldn't figure out what typing it was. One Pokemon I would spam through the Elite Four was Kadabra. Use Psychic on everything. Or actually, I could trade at that point, so I had an Alakazam. But this man was immune to Psychic. He would sweep all of my Pokemon again and again. The way I eventually beat him, because I could not fight that Tyranitar. I didn't know Water and Grass were super effective. The only way I found a way to beat that Tyranitar, and this is after like 15 attempts, was by using Future Sight on it. And even though it's a dark type, not that I would know at the time, Psychic didn't work, but Future Sight would hit him after a few turns. Bro, having to have to deal with very hard to beat tense battles where you have to strategize, I think is when people have the most fun in Pokemon. Like, yeah, it's fun to spam through with your starter or strongest Pokemon and just one-shot things. But for example, if when you had to fight the Elite Four, let's say in BDSP, if they disallowed you to heal your Pokemon between rounds and use healing items in battle, imagine how crazy that whole thing would be. And also, the first time you're fighting the Elite Four, you won't gain experience from them. I know this kind of restricts you a bit, but imagine how crazy it'd be. You would save in front of each member and try to strategize the best thing you can. The XP thing is only because as you keep challenging the Elite Four, you're gonna end up getting way strong enough to fight them. But this is one of the coolest things in like Pokemon Reborn. As hard as that game is, and as long as you're not freaking nuzlocking it like I tried, you can have a lot of fun studying the enemy's team and then just finding the perfect strategy to crush them. And it's a fun grind to restart again and again until you get the winning battle. I only recently found out in older Pokemon games that using cut will cut the grass so you can move to easily avoid wild encounters. Okay, I learned this when I played Leaf Green. It's kind of tedious, but funny that you can cut and it cuts the grass around you. I still remember the moment of sudden clarity when I understood Sudowoodo's name. Why does this hit me in a weird way? Sometimes you just read a Pokemon name and it doesn't make sense and you just have this weird way to remember it. And then once you know what it says, it hits you different. Maybe Sudowoodo was like that for me. Like, what did I used to think? Sudwoodo? When I played Heart Gold as a kid, I never knew you had to have an open party slot to receive the Togepi egg. If you don't get that egg, the NPC will not allow you to pass. Or because I didn't speak English yet, I thought I had to get stronger Pokemon before I was allowed to pass. I ended up getting a level 29 Croconaw before I picked the game up years later. No, bro. The level 5 Togepi egg. This is so sad. Okay, so when me and my friend played Pokemon Blue, and we couldn't figure out how to get to Saffron City, the guards and all the gatehouses kept saying, "I'm thirsty." It's like, I don't know what that means. I don't know how to give this man your water. So I mean, you could go around and fight Blaine early, but I would also, with my friend, train in like the Celadon City grass, the grass beside the route. And the Blastoise we had was like level 58, because that's all we could do in the game. We had like 30 minutes a day to play Pokemon. We just fought wild Pokemon all day. We couldn't freaking get past the guards. It's stuff like that that makes me realize why they handhold you nowadays. But bro, that's just me that was dumb. I'm sure kids are smart and can handle harder games. I didn't know status effects like paralysis affect things like speed. This is okay. I didn't know this either when I played. I also didn't know burn half your attack. I thought Slowbro evolved into Slowking. Okay, everyone thought that. When I could finally trade, the look on my face when you give a freaking tiny baby Slowpoke the King's Rock and he evolves. I distinctly remember finding a Tentacool in Ruby, and when it came out, it flashed white. It had a funny color and I thought, huh, they look different in this area, I guess. I knocked it out and moved on. Didn't learn about shinies for years. This is sad. What do you do though? I mean, it was a good guess. This man anticipated the variants like Gastrodon and Jellicent. I leveled my Haunter and Kadabra to level 80s in order to evolve them several times, thinking maybe the previous games were bugged. Masuda, man. Take responsibility for your children. This is sad. It's like crazy. If you're playing single player, these Pokemon you find are just unusable. Haunter, Machoke, Kadabra, Graveler. You know how common Geodudes are? Last week, I just found out Scald can melt the ice if your Pokemon is frozen. I had no idea. Yeah, there's a few moves that can do this. To go on a tangent, when we used to play like Pokemon Black and White translated, when people would play the Japanese ROMs, because they would release like 7 months before they come to America, they translated Scald as boiling water. And it was kind of like, it's kind of satisfying to use Scald. Just boiling water. You just throw boiling water at the enemy and they get burned. Thought that ground and rock were the same. Okay, this is obviously understandable. I thought forever that rock types were resistant to other rock types, because anytime you use rock on like Graveler, Onix, they just resist it. Until I remember one time when I was just struggling against the Elite Four in Leaf Green, and I just decided to use a rock move against the Aerodactyl, and it was super effective. And it was like the biggest mystery to me how this is possible. I never noticed that Machop had a tail until I saw it walking about in the ground underground. Hello? Don't do this to me. What the frick is that? Hello? What the frick is that? Bernstein Bears. Mandela effect. This man does not have a tail. Why does this man look like a dinosaur all of a sudden? Where's Machamp's tail? Bro, he loses the tail. He's tucked it in his underwear. Nah, this is gross. When I first played Red, I wouldn't put Pokemon in the PC because I thought the boxes were traps set by Team Rocket. You can't. What a freaking theory. Better not you. I remember how weird it felt when I found out that Farfetch'd did in fact not evolve into Doduo. What the freak is a Doduo? It's a damn duck, bro. Oh, they're next to each other in the Pokedex. Oh shoot, no bro. For a long time I thought Trapinch evolved into Corphish. I used to think Seal and Spheal were the same Pokemon. Bro, wait a minute. No, this is not wrong actually. In ancient times, they're both freaking seals. Never mind, one's a walrus. No, wait. Spheal is a seal that evolves into a walrus? I'm gonna end it there, guys. Go on and shank that like button. What's something stupid you did in Pokemon? See you on the next video. Take care.
Family. This the sound of my alchemy. The greatest success for all those who fell for me. I always respect the friends who wish well for me and live until the end and die. All time will tell for me. But I ain't going anywhere, believe me.